Hey everybody, welcome to the Pink Riot Comics Show. It's your girl Keisha, aka Hot Havoc, and I'm here in person, live, with Bri. How are you?
I'm so good. So good.
Right.
So happy that we're together.
We are here at the Black Book Bash in Jacksonville, Florida. And we have several panels to do over the next few days.
Whew.
Yes. But really, really excited, really happy I get to see you.
Yes! Together. Y'all see, this is how put together and adorable Keisha looks even when traveling. And I was like...
I typically, no. I was like, Jacksonville, I wasn't sure about the weather. And I was like,
I wasn't either. That's what, I definitely wasn't about to be uncomfortable. And was still uncomfortable. It was so cold on the plane. I flew United, and it wasn't like the regular Airbus situation. It was like all of it. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because how is this cold?
No, on the plane it was cold.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's different.
No, y'all. It's humid and it's very chill here. So like very middling. You could get away with pretty much anything. I've seen a lot of soccer moms wearing full-on fall vibes, but with flip-flops. So
saw that too.
Do with that what you will. But in the airport, and specifically on the airplane, it was like on tundra. And I just had on a denim jacket over this. And I was like, I played myself. Because I looked at my Pink Riot hoodie and was like, nah, I don't want to be hot. And should have brought it.
Yeah.
But we got here, and it's all good. And I didn't die. Didn't lose a nipple or nothing like that, so we're okay.
You know what? Yeah. Well,
if you freeze, that's like the first thing to go. Did I make?
They're the first thing to go?
I don't know. I heard that somewhere, and it just stuck with me. Might not be true, but we're going to rock with it. Isn't Keisha's hair adorable? Yes, give us a spin. Yes. But you can't really tell, especially when it's whirling like this. Yeah. You can't tell how cute they are or the full extent of the cuteness until she gives you a little zhuzh. So you see the undercut.
Yeah.
It's so good. And I like the very length. So it's going to give no matter what style she puts it in. Yeah, I was fully gagged when I seen this, and I was like, "Oh, sis, this is it. Like, I need the bubble braids. The bubble braids, barely longer than a bob. I just named it, guys, but it's giving.
It is.
With the undercut, it's very much cunty, very much cunty. What's up, y'all? We have like super rigged Keisha's iPad on the coffee maker in our hotel room. So just how do we do the thing where we just show all the comments? Right. Yeah, because trying to just tap it is not going to be the look. But what's up, y'all? Hey, Sheena. Hey, LT. Yeah, we're sisters. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Da-da-da-da. Give me a high five.
This is wonderful.
Yes, that's Keisha's thing, guys. I don't want your germs.
Yeah. Demolition Man. You guys must watch it.
Period. Yes, LT said Keisha bringing that Cali vibe with the hair. It's very much a vibe. I wasn't gonna put like an area code on it because it's very much. It's giving cunty Keisha, and I'm here for it. Anytime we get cunty Keisha, I support all those shenanigans. Jana says those clickety clacks are so satisfying, right? Like, give us a little BLB with a bob. She gave us, instead of giving us the bob, she gave us the Bob Marley sway, and I support it. Yes, and the blouse is cute too, right? It's a dress.
It is. It's a wait. Yeah.
Look how cute.
Because I'm very, very chill.
Very chill, very cutesy.
But as we see, Bri has on Pink Riot merch, which, we need to get.
Are you ready?
You want to start a riot?
You want to riot?
Yes.
Get into it. All right.
But we have
Wait. Before we do anything, if you haven't already, it's belated at this point, but you need to wish my good sis a happy belated birthday. Okay, because somebody had a birthday.
I did.
Somebody had a birthday. And so this is partially us celebrating it just because we rarely get to be around each other. So we weren't going to let that pass at all. So happy birthday, Bookie Boo. I hope you enjoyed your day and that you know we're going to be celebrating this whole weekend.
Here we are.
Okay, period. But even on top of that, yeah.
We're going out.
What? Y'all, I'm afraid. I'm afraid because I have not been informed of these plans, but I'm always down for the shenanigans. Did I tell y'all this? When we were at San Diego Comic-Con, I learned that Keisha be like, if we're going to be outside, we're going to be outside. So I guess I should have seen this coming. But either way, I can't say no because it's birthday shenanigans. So we're just going to see what this does. But on top of, yes, LT saying happy birthday, Sheena said, I want to be like Keisha when I get my shit together. Sames, because your girl was like looking like a homeless person with a nice pink Riot shirt on the plane. And she's all like, look at me. I'm so cute. Love it. Jana sending you happy birthday emojis too. All of the vibes. Okay, so even outside of us being together and us celebrating Keisha's birthday, we have an extra special guest.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It's going to be so amazing.
So amazing. So iconic. The drip don't stop.
Right? Oh my goodness. Are we ready?
Yeah. I don't think they're ready. So let's just give them a little pre-intro. So this phenomenal woman is a writer, world builder, caught me off guard. What the heck? I didn't see this coming. Extraordinaire.
The way she researches in her books is just mind-blowing. Absolutely fantastic.
One of my favorite series from her, it was like chock full of Easter eggs in like the best way. And on top of being excellent at world building, her ability to build characters that make you care about them even outside of the main character is unmatched, unparalleled. So we are beyond honored to have her on the Pink Riot Comic Show today. Yes!
It's Miss Sarah Raughley. How are you?
I'm good, ladies. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much.
I was just sitting back here just listening to you guys go off. I was like, you guys don't even mind me. Just, this is your show. Let me watch. Let me just watch.
We're goofy goobers to the max, and
especially when we're together.
Oh, 100%. So you're getting us on like 100,000 trillion. But we love you for still hanging around, not being like, oh, this too much. I'm see y'all later, okay? But
I was a bit worried though, because I was like, it's 8 p.m. here, and it's not too late. But I got back from work. Like I just got back from work, and I'm tired. I'm like, I'm on a 70 out of 100 right now. I'm 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna like try and drum the energy up, and like, I don't know if I can match y'all, but I'm gonna try and like at least get something going.
Listen, you are here with all of the good vibes, and we have a fabulous story to talk about. So whatever energy we get you at, we are super grateful for. Please don't think you have to match this because we're a little ridiculous to ourselves sometimes. So it's all to the good. But yes, so the reason why we have the phenomenal Sarah Raughley here with us this evening is in celebration of her novelization of Livewire. Yes. So I need you guys to understand that when the information dropped about the Valiant novels coming out, that was my first thought was like, they better do Livewire, and then reading further on, I was like, yes, they're doing Livewire. And then when I seen who they had doing it, I was like, yes, this is perfect. This is so great. This is so good. So we have literally been sitting on our hands in anticipation for this for over a year at this point, which is just like, and then, wait, before we get into all of that, this is how you know I'm excited because I'm completely outside of our usual way of doing
Livewire is one of our favorites.
100%.
Livewire for me, it was the first comic I ever collected, and I awesome opportunity to get my issue signed by Vito Ayala. So like when I saw the cover, I was like, oh, we're getting this. And then when I saw your name, and I had already read one of your books before, and I was like, oh, I know you did the research. Yes. I know you're gonna take care of my girl, because Amanda deserves everything. Yes. So I'm so excited. Yes. I'm so excited.
We're both beyond excited.
Yes.
I did not pack my book because I did not want it to get damaged selfishly, but we also love that the cover was a remake, remold of one of the OG Livewire covers. Yes. So it was like, okay, they're already not pulling any punches. They're giving us all of the things. But before we get into the Livewire talk, we want to hear from you, for those in the audience who may not be as familiar with your steez and your swagger and your accolades. We want to hear, just like we do with all of our Pink Riot guests, what was your comic book origin story? What got you into reading and loving comics in the first place?
You know what? I have two older brothers, and so I think they were into comics first, and then they kind of like grandfathered me into it. But I was really more into like the bigger comics, like the bigger world, like DC, Marvel. I'm a massive. I think I'm more into DC mostly just because I love Batman, Bat Family. Like I know everything about that. Justice League. I watched all the cartoons, Justice League Unlimited, watched the Batman cartoon, but I also watched Young Justice as well. I just love that show so much. I think they should have kept it. Anyway, I don't want to get too off track, but I think
give us your theory.
Yeah.
Because I know they canceled it originally because they're like, oh, we're not selling toys and too many girls are watching it, which is just like absolutely ridiculous. But I love the first season. I think they shouldn't have aged them up too quickly for the second season. And they did that as well. They keep aging up my characters. Okay, does anybody know Super Sons? With Damian Wayne.
Yes.
Who's Robin, the final Robin or the current Robin.
Baby.
That's my baby. I love him. You know, he gets a hard time, but I'm like, look, you think about his parents and his upbringing.
Right. That's all. What else do you expect? But he is awesome.
Just give him a pass. But I love when they put him with Superman's son, John Kent, and they had like this sort of thing with like a duo, and they were perfect. I was like, this is like Hunter x Hunter, Gon and Killua. Like if you're an anime fan, like it's perfect. And then they aged up John to make him like a teenager or 20-year-old. I'm like, why are y'all doing stupid things? But anyways, I've been into comics. Like you can tell, like I can talk the talk because I've been into this stuff since I was a kid, and mostly into the visual media, as opposed to the comics, because for some reason I found it a little difficult to read the comics. I found it easier to gain the stories through like TV, movies, so I've seen all the CW stuff and all the cartoons and the animated films and stuff.
Okay, before we get into Livewire, I'm going to ask you, which do you prefer, Marvel movies, like the live action, or DC animated?
For sure, DC animated. But I've seen all of the Marvel movies. I have. My thing is, like, I think the Marvel movies are good. They're really, really, really excellent. Mm-hmm. But I think they're got to a point where it was like a certain formula that you were expecting. Yeah. And certain times when I was like, okay, why are they making jokes? Like somebody just like got killed or whatever. Like there are things that bothered me, but I still show up for like, I'm showing up for Riri Williams, Black Panther, et cetera, et cetera. I got to show up and show support. But if there's a new animated Batman movie, like I think they just did like Yakuza Batman, and I was like, I don't get this at all, but I'm gonna watch.
That's fair. Yeah, it's difficult trying to translate the like levity and tone that you get from certain style or certain genre of comics over to the screen. So I get where you're coming from if you're like, oh, this is not my tea, but I'll give it a try. But we love a cultured girly who's done the research and knows the material. We love to see it. So we've heard that she's like, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been in the game with the comics. Okay, so obviously you're like, you have several book novel series out already. How did this Livewire opportunity come to you? Tell us the origin stories of that.
It's wild. It's like, so like you said, I have several books. I have the Effigy series, Fate of Flames, first book, second book, Siege of Shadows, third book, Legacy of Light. It's very K-pop Demon Hunters. It's like a group of girls, you know, that fight monsters, but they're also kind of celebrities in a way. It's like, if you like Cat's Eye, I don't know if there are any Cat's Eye fans. If you imagine Cat's Eyes fighting monsters, there you go. Like that's the Effigy series. And then the Bones of Ruin series, which is a 19th century kind of X-Men, you know, Hunger Games type thing with an African girl who doesn't know who she is, and it's this sort of big epic. So the Bones of Ruin series is finished. And in the middle of writing the Bones of Ruin series, Brendan Deneen, who's an author and editor from Blackstone Publishing, he emailed me because he just heard of my work, and he was like, we think you'd be perfect for this character, Livewire. And I'd never really done IP work before. That's kind of that's the lingo, I guess, in publishing. Yeah. IP work is kind of like, you know, Disney comes up to you and says, we want you to write a middle grade book for Buzz Lightyear or something like that. Like it's not your property, but they want you to write something in it. And I just wanted to give it a try because, you know, a Black superhero, yes, please. So like, let's do it. So, you know, and it took a long time to like coordinate, but we finally got there. And in the meantime, I was reading the comics and I was like learning about the Valiant universe. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you were on board because it was a Black woman superhero, but that was really your introduction to Livewire. So how was that for you, like doing your due diligence and learning about Livewire in the comics so you could build her in your novel?
Well, I really liked the different iterations of Livewire because there are some iterations where she seems like she's a full grown woman and she's fighting and she's like, she has this whole sort of technopath, epic, you know, she was a villain and she was working for the villain. Now she's not, and all this stuff. And then there was a more lighthearted, almost like more Young Justice-y or like high school kind of setting for her, where she was kind of more of the geek. She was like, she still had her technopathic powers, but you know, I don't know if you know the comic like Valiant High, where all of the Valiant characters come in and they're all like high school characters. And it was just, for me, it was about learning about who this person was, but also figuring out how I was also going to make her mine in a way. Ooh, that sounds like a little possessive, but it's a little possessive. But you know, the thing that has always worried me when, you know, taking on a comic book character is, in the past there's always been these conversations of comic book characters that are like, you know, this isn't the comic book character that I know, right? Or, you know, oh, you're taking this comic book character and you're inserting your wokeness in it or whatever, like, you know, the kind of things that people say. this happens a lot in Star Wars fandom, which is why I left that fandom. I was like, this is stupid, because just absolute nonsense, because it's like, that's not our Star Wars. And it's like, who's our? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different people who fell in love with this property. It's not just like disgruntled middle-aged white men. You know what I mean? So for me, I was thinking about where do I go with Livewire? Because I know who she is, but I also know that she has been depicted in different ways. And I also know that, you know, there were holes that I could see in the characters. Like, and I think maybe because, you know, Black women in a lot of these comic book characters aren't given as much thought to them. I think this is just a general thing as a lot of the white characters. That's what I've seen it anyway in Marvel and DC. So it's like, I want to really fill up this character. And so I asked Valiant and Blackstone, they're like, oh, we want you to interpret this character how you want, right? So I was thinking, okay, I want to make the fans happy, but I also kind of want to insert myself in my own voice and marry that. And I hope that I was able to do that, pissing off fans.
No, you
I know how a pissed off fan is, so.
No, you really did. And for anyone who has an issue, I've seen it multiple times where authors put their own twist on characters, like going back to DC. One of my favorite characters is Blue Beetle. And the way he's been changed, Jamie has been changed in like 2 or 3 different ways with the 2 current writers who are writing a story for different audiences. It's so awesome. And you can see the same thing with Livewire. Like Livewire, the one that I knew with Vita Yala, is different than the one you wrote, but the one you wrote is like, she's so cool and she's like trying to figure herself out, and she's dealing with a lot more in my eyes. Like she's trying to figure everything out while coming to terms with some major revelations. You know, so I absolutely just, y'all need to read it. I enjoyed it.
This is actually the first time like I've talked to like fans of Livewire, so I'm glad that I get the seal of approval. I really wanted to do her justice, and at the same time I really wanted to really explore things that maybe haven't really been explored, like even the racial dynamics of, you know, a young Black girl with all this power, and she was adopted by a billionaire Japanese man who, for his own reasons, wants to essentially like control the world. But what is it like being separated from your family? So, you know, in this story, I have her originally from Florida, which is so interesting. You mentioned that you're in Jacksonville, Florida now. And like, she's very separated from her her own culture in a way, right? And she was taken as a child and sort of raised away from her culture. So even when she was still in America, she was separated from a very important part of herself. But then she goes to Japan and she's even further removed. So it's like she's trying to figure out who she is. Yeah. And she doesn't even really know who her adopted father is.
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, on top of being removed socially, it's also like that in the home too. So like she is dealing with a lot. And that was you brought it up because I have it in my notes here. I was like, just like the commentary about transracial adoptions was just, that's not even something I had considered with the novel to like really go into detail. But I was like, dang, you're right. Like she's being raised in an entirely different country, different culture, and her dad is ruthless. Like he is terrifying. The pop culture references, that was something and forgive me, I forget the artist that you bring up like in the first chapter, right? I ended up like Googling it and then like putting on that album for the first few chapters.
And she was so geeked. She was like, Bri, did you listen to the? I was like, okay, I will go right now.
it was the perfect backdrop to reading the book. That you introduced me to a new artist. Thank you.
J-pop. Are there any J-pop fans in the chat? Because yeah, I mean, my geekery, I think, while I was getting into comics, I was also getting into anime at the same time. That introduced me to J-pop. A lot of the J-pop that I learned was from like the openings and endings of anime. So like Naruto, Dragon Ball, Code Geass, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, etc., etc. Like I learned people through that. But Utada Hikaru was somebody that I just learned. She was so massive in Japan in the aughts. And I looked into her music and I was like, this is some of the best stuff. So Utada Hikaru's music really becomes like the framework, I think, for the book. And if anybody wants recommendations for J-pop artists, although the K-pop also comes into the story as well. But I thought, hey, we're in Japan, let's get in some J-pop and some references to the Asian entertainment market as well, because I've always been into it.
We love telling authors to make playlists and make them accessible on their pages, because that's like one of the coolest ways to get people to engage in new stories and new media all at the same time. So yeah, just whenever you feel so led, we would love that playlist for sure.
No, it was so cool. I felt really cool reading it when just all the K-pop references, because I've been obsessed with Cat's Eye lately. And right, and I'm like, I'm an icon.
We can talk, right? Because I know like all of the conversations that are going on, right? I love my girl Manon. That's my favorite. Yes, we are Manon fans. I mean, I love all of them. I think Manon and Laura are my favorite.
They are.
But yeah, we need to talk about that later on.
Yes.
There's always drama too, and I'm just like, oh.
It's one of the I like found myself watching like lives that they've done on YouTube and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I've never done this before. This is I don't know why I'm watching this Gap ad every day.
Oh my god,
I'm so serious.
It ate, and it came out at exactly the right time. It was perfect.
100%. Wait, so give us the tea about this collaboration with Valiant and Blackstone. I know that they did other people from the Valiant universe. There's 4 of them right now. Have they talked with you about potentially doing other Livewire novels, or what does the trajectory of this look like moving forward?
I think it was like this one-off thing where they wanted to get a foothold into the book space, and especially into the young adult space. Mm-hmm. So they only asked me to do 1 book, and I believe it's the same for the other characters. Like there's a Ninjak one, and so on and so forth. But I mean, I wrote it in a way that this is kind of Livewire's, like rewriting Livewire's origin story. Yeah. So from here, if they wanted to write more, or they wanted me to write more in this series, I absolutely could.
Awesome. Okay, you mentioned that before, that the way that you typically consume like superhero stories, it's been more accessible to you via shows and movies and that sort of thing. Has writing this Livewire novel story made you feel like, oh, maybe I should dip my toe into comics?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's just like how I've always been more visual, like in terms of like hearing the voices and stuff like that. So I think in terms of like accessibility, like for example, I would watch a lot of anime. I would probably read less manga. And, there was a time when reading, books like was a little bit difficult for me. I didn't have like, I would try it, and I loved the books that I did read, but it was difficult for me to get into a book more than it was like to watch it sort of playing. So that's just more of an accessibility thing for me. But it made me more excited to get into the comics and to see other people's interpretation. And I did read like as many comics as I could before writing the book. And I tried to I took the Valiant High series as sort of the basis for this book for Livewire. But instead of her being like this geeky, sort of sad, lonely girl, I kind of wanted to make her like, like this beautiful, just extroverted
it girl.
Yeah.
It girl, influencer it girl. Like she's in the entertainment industry, if she needs to, to drag someone, she'll drag someone, that kind of thing. I just wanted to see something that I hadn't seen before.
Oh, and the way she uses Livewire, like initially in the account, I was like, oh, that's messy. But if I had those powers, I was in high school, I might have done that too.
Because I was thinking to myself, and there was somebody who was like, why would she do this with her powers and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
she's in high school.
Exactly. Like, you're not a 17-year-old girl. Okay, because I know that when I was a 17-year-old girl, if I could use if I had technopathic powers, obviously having technopathic powers today in 2025 pretty much makes you God. If a God, not blasphemy, but a God. If you think about like, the kind of powers that you have, I mean, she's S tier, she's S ranked.
Yeah.
But at 16 or 17, you're not really going to know the full scope of what you can actually do with your powers. You're not thinking about, controlling drones or, anything like that. You're just thinking about, you know what, I want to know the tea on my enemies. I'm going to start a Gossip Girl like website or whatever, and just like drop the tea and destroy them because they were mean to me. So I'm gonna get these followers. Like, what would I do if I was in? I want to know the tea on some celebrities that kind of like hide things. It's like, okay, so what was, so and so really doing? Why was, like, do Cat's Eye really get along? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna check out those CCTV cameras. I know I shouldn't, but I want to know what is really going on. You know what I mean? Like, why was New Jeans really like kicked out of Hype or whatever was going on with that situation? Who is that BTS member really dating? If I were a teenager, that's what I would use it for. So that's what Livewire is using it for.
Very true. Very, very true.
Okay, so what would you want new people who are being newly introduced to Livewire through your novel to take away from this book?
I like that you mentioned like the transracial adoption thing, because I actually did a PhD on that. And that's kind of a lot of where I wanted to take from, the racial and gender dynamics, like the power dynamics between, and what it means to really feel out of place in your own body as a Black girl, out of place, like wherever you travel. Like, I've been to Japan and I can tell you, like, I adored it. But then there are people who are really nice, and there are people who are like, don't talk to me. You know what I mean? And it's like wherever we go, we try to escape anti-Blackness here. We go here, but we still find it. So sometimes it can feel like there's all these people that are defining you and telling you who you are and who you need to be. And, I would say go where you want and define yourself. Figure out who you are, and don't let anything or anyone squash your potential and your identity, right? Like, I had to think about the way in which she was adopted. She was cut off from a very important culture, right? Her own culture. But that doesn't mean that she can't create something new for herself and maybe build a new family and build her own future and identity. So
100%. Okay, so inversely to that, or conversely to that, what do you hope that, or what would you like to say to people who are already familiar with one version of Livewire who are picking up your novel?
You will get Livewire and you'll get me. I think when you read the novel, there's a lot of me in this just because Valiant said we want you to take the character in your direction. So there's a lot of things that you're going to recognize in terms of like the egg breakers, her relationship with Toyo Harada, her powers, but there's also kind of me and my personality and what I'm interested in. And, you know, that's why I said it in Japan, because I'm this big weeb, but also like use her powers. But also as a Black weeb, I know again what it's like to feel like you're not allowed in certain spaces. Like, you're a Black girl. Why do you like this? So there's a lot of me combining my personal experience with Livewire, the character. So hopefully, you know, open your heart to that and you'll get Livewire and me, and hopefully that's like an interesting marriage that makes you think of Livewire in a different way.
Yes, I think so. 100%.
Okay, I do have one question. You write some crazy high school kids, because there is something that happens in here. When Lily's interest in a certain type of genre of work online, I don't even know if I can say it. The fictional.
You're doing good. I think you could probably leave it like that. She knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was cackling. I'm sorry. There is something in this book where these kids are talking and Amanda just exposes Lily on what she enjoys reading.
Which is like, don't do that. Don't do that.
She's definitely like, you know what? This is all I'm going to say is I wrote this book as a love letter to geeks of every sort. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you're into certain kinds of fan fiction.
Even like say it. Okay.
Yeah. It's certain kinds of stories and this and that. Like, this is for the anime fans. That's why like there's a lot of references to the kind of like mecha stories that I grew up watching, like you know, when they transform, the transforming hero type stuff. And so that, like, if you're an anime fan, if you're a comic book fan, just an American comic book fan, if you write fan fiction, if you read fan fiction, if you like fantasy and sci-fi, like this is, if you like K-pop and J-pop, this is a love letter to all of you. So there's Easter eggs there for people to like pick up on that. They'll know, and if they are like Lily, they'll feel a little exposed as well. Like, this is what I'm into, but I didn't want people to know, you know, there's like a little shout out to JoJo Siwa for whatever reasons, if you're a Dance Moms fan. There, yeah, like, you know, when she put out that song Karma, and everybody was like, yeah, exactly, and everyone was dragging her. So there's a little bit of that. I was just having fun. This is for my like girl geeks. Just take it, run with it.
Yeah. Period.
I had a fun time with it.
Okay, so this is who you're talking to, a bunch of girl geeks. So it wouldn't be us if we didn't ask, what are you reading right now? What are you into? Give us the recs, because our TBRs are endless, but we still like to add to them.
Oh my God. You should read Lizelle Sambury's Mastery of Monsters. New story that just came out. I think it came out at the end of July. And you know, if you like Naruto, but especially like the Chunin exam arc of Naruto, but also Dark Academia and monsters and like Digimon with like the bond between the person and the partner, like the human and the partner. It's so geeky and cool. Lizelle is phenomenal, and this is the start of a new, I don't know if it's a trilogy or a duology. I think it's a trilogy. But yeah, I was sort of, we were doing a chat where I was writing a new book, and she was she was kind of working on editing the second book for Mastery of Monsters. So I can tell you that it gets better and better and better. So you need to start it.
Okay.
You need to give me Rex. You need to give me Rex, okay? Because I like manga. I'm trying to find like a new manga or anime or something to read.
Oh, my manga is not appropriate
for her I'm shrink wrapped. The only manga that I can recommend right now, because I'm newer in my manga journey, is the Korean Kenshin.
Okay.
Yeah, the first 2 volumes of that. Is it Only a Monster or something like that? Something.
I don't remember the name. But yeah, Corey Kenshin. When you Google his name, it comes up.
Yeah, Corey Kenshin. Yeah, that's a good one to start. I can't believe I'm blanking on the name of it right now. What else? What else have I read?
No, mine's genuinely just come shrink wrapped. So I'm so sorry. I'll have to give that to you off camera.
Yeah, I'll give you that list offline.
You can DM me that one.
There you go. If you're wanting a novella that is fun and campy and has amazing world building, we just got to chat with P. Jelly Clark. The Dead Cattail Assassins.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that one yet, but I shall. I shall.
Good. The world building in that reminds me of your world building in that series, the Ruin series. Because y'all, if y'all don't know, if y'all haven't touched that series, she described bits and pieces about like the core of that first book, and nothing that anyone could ever tell you will prepare you for the twist.
That book was so good.
And I will stand 10 toes on that. And there's a lot of avid readers that come and watch our show and chat, and I can still stand 10 toes on that. You will never guess the twist of that book. So 100% run and go cop that and check it out.
Especially
you mean The Bones of Ruin?
Yeah.
Yes.
The book is, yeah.
It's it being in London and having like Shakespearean elements in it. That's what really like me. I loved it.
Oh my gosh. I love like a magical contest, but like a crabs in a bucket, and everyone there's so much going on in that book. And you still manage to love the characters and still be entirely blindsided by that twist at the end. So yeah,
Thank you.
How different was it for you writing someone and for IP as opposed to like building on your own story? Did you have to like put on a different hat, or did you have to keep reminding yourself like, oh, I can only stray so far from this? What was that like?
I mean, I think I was able to have more fun with Livewire, which is really interesting because it's not my character, but I already have a good sense of who the character is, and I was given the go-ahead from the publishers, from Valiant, to pour myself into it. And I know that it's, for right now, it's just a singular book. So I just wanted to have fun and explore this character and just be as geeky as possible. I think when it's comes to my own work, I'm a lot harder on myself in a way, maybe because like it's automatically going to be closer to you. And so you're so like, just, at least I am super insecure. And I'm like, oh my God, like,
You have no
like
reason.
this is a character that I created. And I know not everyone's going to like it and not everyone's going to get it. It's the same thing for IP work, but I think it just hurts a little bit more when it's like your story that you created from the ground up, right? Whereas as a fan, I can understand, like, if fans come to me and say, like, that's not the Livewire I know, then, you
Wish
know,
and she shouldn't be.
Exactly.
yeah, you know, like there's a rationale to that. Yeah.
I mean, even outside of that, if they wanted the same exact Livewire, they could have penned Vita Ayala to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted something fresh. They wanted a new perspective, and you delivered that on all fronts.
Yes.
So you should be proud of the work that you've done, and respectfully, forget what a hater has to say. We're both avid Livewire readers. We love Livewire, and we were rocking with your novels. So that's all you need. You got fans who rock with it.
Thank you for your support, man. It means a lot. It means a lot.
Okay, so I know that you're like booked and busy touring about the book a little bit or sharing about the book in other spaces. Right now, we would love for you to just shameless plug yourself. What is going on in the world of Sarah Raughley? Where can people find you? Where can people buy the book? If you have signed copies from a specific shop, any of that type of stuff, right now is the time to spill all of that.
Okay, well, the best place to find me is www.sarahraughley.com. And that's where you'll find all of my books that I've written. So, you know, again, I've written Livewire. That was my first IP book that I've ever written. You can check out the Bones of Ruin series. You can check out the Effigy series, which again is kind of like if you like the idea of cat's eye fighting like monsters, then there you go. That's the Effigy series. I also have some less fantasy sci-fi, like historical novels. So, you know, again, that's all on my website. And if you want to talk with me or engage with me, I left Twitter like a long time ago and I tried TikTok. I think it didn't really, like, it's just stressed me out a bit. So I'm mostly just on Instagram. You can always shoot me a DM. I'm on Threads. And with the way the world is going, I don't even know like what's going to happen to Instagram or Threads or TikTok. I mean, we all saw what happened to Twitter. But I mean, I'm always willing to and happy to talk to people online. So find me on Instagram until that like collapses. until like Instagram just dies out and becomes something else. But until that happens, I'll be on Instagram posting. You can DM me. I'll be on Threads, and you can use my contact form on my website as well.
Fabulous. Awesome. And are there signed copies anywhere where people can get their hands on it? Going to be at any events coming up?
Well, I think I'm in Canada actually. Okay. So yes. So, you know, I'm doing a signing in Ontario, Burlington, Ontario. If there's anybody, it's like an hour or less away from Toronto. Mm-hmm. If you go to, it's called the Telling Tales Festival. I was just in Toronto last week, signing books for HarperCollins, last book that I put out before Livewire, and then I went to Alberta, which was I love Alberta. No, don't get angry. Please don't be angry with me if you're from Alberta. I love Alberta. It's just like there is something Alberta. People say that Alberta is like the Texas of Canada. So there were things that I saw that I was like, oh dear. But the book festival was very like progressive and inclusive, and it was wonderful. So I've just been doing book festivals upon book festivals upon book festivals, mostly in Canada. And if you find any of my work in Alberta, Lethbridge, Toronto, Burlington, Ottawa, any of them signed Ancaster. You may not know any of those places, but if you do, you'll find my signed books.
Great.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm hoping to come to America soon. It's just, you know. Okay, maybe.
Maybe let us come to you.
Okay. Yeah, it's a shame because, child, it's a shame because, you know, like Y'all West and like those kinds of places, those kinds of like events. I used to really love going to those events, and now everything's just gotten very strange. But you know, I'm here for you. The whole world is here for y'all. I don't know what else to say. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for justice and equality and all of that, and I know we'll get there. But it was Martin Luther King says the arc of history always bends towards justice. Was that Malcolm X?
I do not remember. I'm gonna be honest.
It's a great quote. Whoever said it.
It's a great quote. Whoever said it. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
Eventually. No, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, but I'm like, that sounds real good. Yeah, but we really appreciate you coming through to chat Livewire with us. Everybody watching, if you haven't already, run and go copy your copy. It's a must pick up 100%. You know, we're going to probably be doing a more like spoiler-full breakdown on another episode and give like our full review and ideas about the novel versus the comic and all that. Because when we tell you we're Livewire stands around here, and now this is part of the canon, part of the experience. So y'all run and go copy your copies so that way when we get ready to do that, you guys will have read it and can be right there with us. Thank you again so much for coming by, Sarah. We will probably be reaching out to you sometime soon because we're getting together a Blurty Baddies Dungeons and Dragons one-shot. And you said you're a nerdy girly. I feel like you might want to get in on that action, you know?
Well, I love RPGs, so yeah, you know, hook me up, DM me.
Yeah. Sorry, we're fangirl.
Yeah.
I'm the queen of shoot your shot because the worst they can do is tell you no, and you seem like a vibe. I feel like we vibed. I mean, we have before, but you know. So yeah, we would love to have you back for that. And again, we just really appreciate you and your time. Shout out to Blackstone Publishing for blessing us each with copies. Yes. Like, not like we hadn't already pre-ordered. So now I have 3 copies.
And the audiobook.
The audiobook. Ooh, let me say, I loved who they chose. And I chose that person specific. They gave me 3 choices. And I said, it's not even a question.
Okay.
And whew, I love it.
Much a tandem reader. I love to have the audio as I'm reading the physical book. So it's always interesting to experience them together and then to hear like where the choices came from and all that sort of thing, because it adds all this personality to the characters. So that's awesome. We should have but yeah, again, thank you so much for coming, Sarah. We love you down, and we will definitely be having you back when we get ready to do our Blurty Baddies D&D campaign. It's going to be a vibe.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Later.
Bye.
Yes. Oh my God. This is awesome.
Why is she so sweet? She's such a cutie. I love it. I'm so glad that she came through. That was a vibe.
Yes.
And we did so good to chat about it. And not give spoilers, but give little feelers so people can get into the vibes of it and understand that it stands on its own. And she put her own personality, and Valiant gave her the freedom and free reign to give it a new voice, give it a new breath. And I believe she succeeded in that. So
she
quite
did
an honor to have her.
She did a really good job with creating a fully fleshed out teenage Livewire or Amanda. Like,
yeah,
you'll learn. Just read the book.
Just
read the book.
Just go buy the book and read the book.
But it was done very, very well.
Yes. All right. So apparently we're going to be cutting today's episode a little shorter than what we normally would because
we cutting up.
Because Keisha has plans. Y'all, you can't see her bottom half, but that thing is thangin', and I'm scared because what do you mean? We have plans.
We gonna go eat. We gonna go have fun.
Y'all say a prayer for my knees.
And we gonna barely wake up.
Oh
right
no!
Before our panels at 9 a.m.
I have a 9 a.m. panel. What is she doing? But you guys, there will be more shenanigans, obviously, because we're here together. Shout out to everybody who came through to show love. Yes, she said we got plans. Shout out to everybody who came through to show love. Shout out to all of our Patreon subscribers. We love every last single one of y'all. If you aren't already subscribed to our Patreon, run on over to that link and check it out. We have a free tier all the way up to a top tier that, you know, doing something strange for a little piece of change. You know what I'm saying?
Elbows.
Yeah, because
ankles. Getting it all.
Because these comics and these cons ain't gonna pay for themselves. So, you know, if you feel so led, run and go join that. I mean, the free tier gets perks too, but obviously the higher up, the more stuff you learn earlier and the more influence you have on the shenanigans that happen on the show.
You get to sit in on
if you haven't already, there's no need to feel bad if you forgot to get Keisha a birthday present. Her wish list is still very much up. Or you can make a donation.
Rachel, and thank you.
Yes.
Yo, Rachel got me the coolest present. I'm gonna post that video soon. I cried. This morning. I opened them. Thank you.
The way that Rachel is the highest of hierarchy when it comes to giving an excellent gift, because my birthday gift from Rachel, they put so much love, thought, energy, and work into it. And it literally makes me smile every time I see it. We might have to do like a look at what from from them. So Rachel, we love you down. Dang, you interrupted me. But everybody, we love you for pulling up. There will be more shenanigans. Sign up for the Patreon. Like, share, follow, comment, subscribe on all US platforms. If you like this episode, you know, scroll up or down, check out some of our other author interviews. Or if you're not going to watch it, you know, just let that thing run in the background because those views actually help us. And if you're driving in your car and you say, Bri, I don't have time to watch another episode, you could totally turn on our podcast because we's a podcast on Spotify. Run on over there.
Get hundreds of views a week.
The way that we both did a whole dance and shimmy, finding out that those numbers were our weekly numbers and not our overall numbers.
We thought it was our overall.
Oh my days.
We were so proud of ourselves, and then I read and was like, "Oh, that's weekly."
You guys, that means so much to us, and we would just really love for you to keep that same energy. Just, you know, let that thing play in the background, or while you're washing dishes, or whatever. Let that thing play. And give us a star rating. So tell us what you feel. Leave some feedback. Leave us a dad joke. Okay. I love you. I mean it. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
I definitely found more. All right. How many variants are there?
11.
Damn. Go ahead. No.